I messed up a whole bunch. Maybe I swore too much, but I never saw my world without you. I never saw my world without you. Never saw my world without you.
Last week, I saw this video on my Facebook feed. Now, before I give my opinion, I'm going to give you a little bit of my background.
Oh, what the fuck? Get her in the house. Wait until the next whistle. Middle, coming through the middle!
With such a background, you would think I'm more of a traditionalist when it comes to airsoft. I'm not really. I don't mind the fact there's speed CQC. It doesn't bother me that much. Okay, you use specialized equipment. That can be quite expensive for some players. However, for some other players who have the money, I have no problem with it whatsoever. Oh, you could also say, sure, it's a bit like paintball, and paintball has made strides as well to have guns that look like airsoft guns, so that doesn't bother me so much either about what actually I'm looking at.
Maybe things didn't go quite.
Taiwan, check out the World Cup competition, and I want to kind of show you guys a little sneak peek of what we have coming up. More likely this is not going to be coming out this year, but probably something we're going to be debuting early SHOT Show of next year. But I want to give you guys a kind of close look on these new guns. So we have our new SSG series, which stands for Speed Soft Guns, and obviously what really stands out, not only the colors, but it's just the big and large trigger guard that you see here, kind of like the rocker typically seen on paintball markers. So obviously these guns are going to be specifically designed and meant for speed softers, and maybe some milsimers probably won't be too fond of these, but for speed softers or CQB, these are going to be the perfect CQB gun.
Maybe I messed up a whole bunch. Maybe I swore too much, but I never saw my world without you. I never saw my world without you. Never saw my world without you.
Gather around the campfire, and let me tell you about a little experiment we started in 2014 and ended in 2016. The League. Initially 4 teams, competing over 2 seasons, determining ultimately who would be the best team and individual player. These 4 teams consisted of players who knew each other very well. Though they were competitors, they were very good friends and played competitively by the very nature of airsoft. Sportsmanship, gentlemanliness, and fair play. It was good. It was fun. The guys really enjoyed the competition. The downfall of the league is when we added more teams. The players on these additional teams weren't good friends with the players on the first 4 teams. Some of these new players were able to fit in with the nature of airsoft, while others were not. The players on these additional teams, if they had an overinflated sense of superiority, especially an overinflated sense of national superiority, did whatever they could to win, to prove themselves better than everyone else. What was once healthy competition and fun turned into "fuck you, we're better than you losers." One team in particular should be ashamed of themselves for the way they acted. It was simply bad airsoft. By bad airsoft, I mean they didn't have the same sense of sportsmanship, gentlemanliness, and fair play. The second that winning became the objective, rather than the nature of airsoft, the league ended. When the competition increased, the nature of airsoft didn't just decrease, it disappeared altogether. Over the years, I have moderated hundreds of private events. By private events, I mean mostly players who have never airsofted before in their lives, as well as how to use the equipment. Most importantly, I'll teach them the very nature of airsoft, the sportsmanship, the gentlemanliness, and the fair play, and make it very clear to them that the nature of airsoft is the very objective of airsoft. If you can't be a sportsman, a gentleman, or play fairly, you can't be trusted, and you should go find something else to do. Once the games get going, and you do a few warm-up games, mostly 2-team death matches, which don't have a clear objective, everything is fine. Everyone follows the nature of airsoft. It's all good for laughs. And then it happens. The very second you add an objective into the game, the very nature of airsoft disappears. The teams want to win, to prove themselves superior, even though that was never taught to them as the objective of airsoft.
Maybe I messed up a whole bunch. Maybe I swore too much, but I never saw my world without you. I never saw my world without you. Never saw my world without you.
When I watched this video, sure, they have great gear. However, it's bad airsoft. Shit airsoft, actually, and it shouldn't even be called airsoft. Perhaps abomination would be better. It looks exactly like how the league digressed. The objective of this video wasn't to showcase the nature of airsoft, meaning sportsmanship, gentlemanliness, and fair play. It was to showcase a "fuck you, we're better than you losers" style of competitive play that is actually quite awful to watch. There's blind firing, pre-firing, unsportsmanlike play. Very few of the actual hits are what I would call actual airsoft.
Never saw my world without you.
Yep. Did I get you yet?
Never saw my world without you.
No, I did.
The survivors of the 2014-2016 league didn't disappear. They're still here at the alley.
Maybe things didn't go quite as planned. Maybe I didn't do all I can, but I never saw my world without you.
that time I didn't miss. How the fuck did I miss the last time? No idea. Even three rounds.
Is it possible to have competitive airsoft with an emphasis on sportsmanship, gentlemanliness, and fair play? Yes, it is possible, but only when the players know and trust each other, and that they've learned that the core of competitive airsoft isn't the winning, it's the integrity of being honorable regardless of the situation. You name me one competitive sport where that happens, and I'll ask you why that competitive sport has referees. Proper airsoft doesn't have arguments or questionable hits. It doesn't have referees. It just has trustworthy friends.
Yep. Video, hey! Sorry. Yep.
Maybe I'm messed up, I hope maybe I swore too much, but I never saw my world without you.
Yep.
I never saw
There's a tree there, and there was. The tree has eyes.
Never saw my world without you.
Oh, we're dancing. Yep. I said yep.
Without you, never saw my world without you. Maybe I put my trust in love. Maybe we've been through enough, but I never saw my world without you. I never saw my world without you. Never saw my world without you. Never saw my world without you. Without you. Never saw my world without you. Maybe things didn't go quite as planned. Maybe I didn't do all I can, but I never saw my world without you.
10 minutes on the timer, then you go to the
Saw
switch.
my
Yep.
world without you.
Almost, yes. Right under my arm. Oh,